Hi, welcome to BTTV. For over a decade, Mozilla Firefox has been one of the leading names in the world of internet browsers. They changed the landscape of the web by allowing their software to be free and open source, at a time when the industry was led by internet navigators which were closed source, and at a time when innovation in this sphere was highly desired. Being open source means that the software's code is open and designed to be publicly accessible, and anyone can see it, modify and distribute it. From the mid-2000s, when its first version was released, Mozilla Firefox championed the call for an internet space which is secure, and quickly gained widespread usage and popularity since then. In just 9 months of its release, the software had over 60 million downloads in 9 months, thus making it the new threat to the then popular Microsoft Internet Explorer. But in a space where more and more companies have emerged with browsers that are more creative and business models that are more diverse, the future of Mozilla Firefox keeps looking bleak by the day. The browser is seeing its usage share slumping by the minute, revenue of the company dipping by the hour, and job cuts have been more rampant than usual. In this episode, we take a look at how Mozilla Firefox gained dominance, what went wrong, and what could be the future. Mozilla was created by the Netscape Communications Corporation, co-owned by Mark Andreessen and Jim Clark. It first started in February 1998 as the Mozilla organization, which was responsible for coordinating future developments of Netscape's products. This was the same year Mozilla became open source, with its source code made open to a community of programmers and developers referred to as the Mozilla community. In an interest-pulling deal in 1999, the Mozilla organization, under Netscape, was acquired by AOL for $10 billion. In the early 2000s, the organization established the Mozilla Foundation as a not-for-profit entity. This thus led to the creation of Firefox in 2002, under the code name Phoenix, by Mozilla community members who desired a standalone browser rather than the Mozilla Application Suite bundle, comprising a web browser, Mozilla News Groups, Mozilla Mail, etc., which existed at the time. This community claimed it was also a way to combat what they saw as the Mozilla application software bloat. The software was named Phoenix after the mythical bird that rose triumphantly from the ashes of its dead predecessor, in this case, the ashes of Netscape Navigator after it was sidelined by Microsoft a few years back. Since then, the browser has undergone a series of name changes. The browser was later changed to Firebird in 2003, then to Mozilla Firefox on February 9, 2004. During its beta phase, it proved to be popular with testers, and it was praised for its speed, security and add-ons, compared to the Microsoft Internet Explorer, which gained dominance after surpassing the Netscape browser in the so-called first browser war of the 90s. A great deal of support and acceptance was received for the software from numerous media outlets like Forbes and even the Wall Street Journal when its first browser under the Mozilla Foundation, Phoenix version 0.1, was released. This was undoubtedly the beginning of the rise to fame of Mozilla. So by the time of the release of the Firefox browser in 2004, the software was already highly accepted. Even though browsers like Opera and the Mozilla Suite already had some of its popular features like the tab browsing, integrated pop-up and an extension or add-on mechanism for adding functionality, this pioneer Firefox version, called version 1.0, achieved the wildest adoption of them all. It became the second most used browser back then, after championing the crusade of two causes, which were the need to be secured while on the web and the desire for innovation. Firefox quickly became the alternative to Microsoft Internet Explorer 6, which at the time was called out for its alleged per-program design and insecurity. And in less than 1 year, Mozilla Firefox was downloaded 100 million times. This browser was just unstoppable. By the month of May 2008, Firefox had a worldwide market share of 18.41%, and by the end of 2008, the browser surpassed 50% market share in more regions, like in Indonesia, Macedonia and Slovenia. With privacy and innovation being part of its innermost DNA, Mozilla Firefox kept pulling users from its rivals. This earned Firefox a 20% worldwide usage share by October of that same year, 2008. The browser's market share peaked at 32% in 2009, and since then the story has never been the same again for the browser. So, what really went wrong? What happened to Mozilla Firefox? People keep asking. Well, short answer. Google Chrome happened to Mozilla Firefox. In the tech world, there is always competition lurking, and a pool of insatiable users ready to leap. The second you blunder, your competition steals your shine, and innovation-hungry fanatics cross carpets to the most innovative guy on the block. Firefox's moment in the sun was short-lived from when version 3 of the software released. Versions 1 and 2 were widely accepted, but somehow Firefox 3 was unstable and used up a lot of memory. Chrome came in 2008 with a comparatively speedy JavaScript engine and introduced a lot of improvements such as memory isolation between tabs and windows. At the time, Firefox couldn't keep up, and so a vast majority of internet users started drifting to Google Chrome. This was also a time when Google's Android operating system was sweeping the mobile telephony world at an exponential rate. Google will prompt users to install Chrome every time they visit YouTube, Google Mail, Google Search, etc., with a web browser other than Google Chrome. Google won as they could promote this for free on these very popular websites that they owned. Further to this was the fact that the app also came pre-installed on all Android devices then, and which is still the case still now. From the start of 2019 to the start of 2022, Firefox lost 30 million active users. As of May 2022, it has 7.86% worldwide usage share as a desktop web browser after Chrome, Microsoft Edge and Safari, while its worldwide market share across all platforms is lower than 4%. In both cases, the browser now sits at the fourth most used browser. Firefox's privacy aims have been questioned with some of its new products. For example, their encrypted file sharing service, called Mozilla Firefox Send, was shut down after being used to spread malware. Also, the browser's market share decline has been accompanied by 2 rounds of job cuts in the company. In August 2020, the CEO of Firefox, Mitchell Baker, announced that 250 personnel were to be laid off as part of the company's overhaul. This figure was about a quarter of its workforce. Previously in January of that same year, 70 were laid off. With the emergence of new and better privacy-focused browsers, the competition has never been so real for Firefox. Hence, like never before, the company is now under immense pressure to diversify, which has ramped up since 2019. The company now has subscription services with its Read It Later service called Pocket and VPN-style products. Of late, the company is also venturing more into advertising as well as placing ads on new tabs that are opened on the Firefox browser. But for Mozilla Firefox as a company to survive, it must first solve its revenue problem. The company has a history of overdependence. First it was with AOL, when it acquired the company in 2009. That is why in July 2003, to ensure its continued independence with financial and other assistance from AOL, Mozilla organization went ahead to establish the Mozilla Foundation. This seemed not to have changed much, though. In fact, it has worsened. Its financial statement, as at 31st December 2018, indicated that a large chunk of its revenue came from royalties. Search engines like Google, Yandex from Russia and Baidu pay to be the default search option in the Firefox browser. To put this into context, out of a total revenue of over $450 million, up to $429 million came from these royalties in 2018. And in its 2020 financial results, it was reported to be $441 million out of a total revenue of $496 million that year. With its falling market share, and with its biggest search deal being that with Google, set to expire next year, 2023, it is now uncertain Google will renew at the same level. This is if at all it will be renewed, because as at the time of making this episode, it was reported that Selena Deckelman, Senior VP of Mozilla Firefox, declined on revealing whether negotiations with Google are ongoing. And in a bid to confront the competition, the company seems to be in a mad rush to innovate and bring forth new products, some of which are good and some of which have misfired. One of its legendary fails known to mankind is its 2010 flopped Firefox operating system meant for mobile phones. Is the Mozilla Firefox browser headed for its doom? Well, we can't be so sure for now, as it is still ahead of other browsers. But one thing is certain in the world of technology: once users have been lost, they hardly come back until there's a compelling reason. Until then, we shouldn't expect any significant increase in the number of users of the browser just yet. Thank you for watching this episode. Catch you in the next one. Bye.